fucking time, all the bloody time. You put 'em somewhere or not where you put 'em at, you forget where you put 'em. Hi everyone, and welcome to Friday Night Smackdown. I, Corey Graves, He-Man, and Wade Barrett here, because we don't know where Ashley Williams is at, and we don't got time to go dig for him. But today is Good Friday, the Christendom holy day, which onlooks the hearing, the stretch, and the beating and the death of Jesus, Son of God, who yielded up his life to atone for the sins of all mankind and all womankind. And through all of that, God and Jesus gave us a stead in heaven, since God and Jesus loved us that much they were both willing to do those things. Alright everyone, it is me, Jesus the healer, the freer and the teacher. The freer, the healer, and the teacher. And it is all true that I have all those ranks. And I did do all those things when I was alive. I was a teacher, I was a healer, and I was a freer. What did I teach? I teached of love and onlook and kindness. Who did I heal? The wounded and the sick. Who did I free? All of mankind and womankind from sin. So you can see that I am the healer, the teacher, and the freer. And a lot of folks might ask themselves, they might say, Jesus, why did God choose to put you through that bind? And why did you choose to do it? Well, you see, the only way that sin could ever be truly atoned for, the way that the sin could be truly washed away from all men and all women. And I asked my Father God if there was another way to do it, and he told me that that was the only way, that I would have to go through, and I would have to go through a set up hearings and stretches, that I would have to get beaten, and have to be made fun of by folks, and guilted and shamed it, and be put on the round. And through all of that, some good was coming out of it, because Good Friday means that what the bad is happening on Friday, good will come out of it. You see, and through my blood, and through my beatings, and through my death, God my Father and I took on all the sins of all mankind and womankind, and made them all be atoned for, and cleaned those sins away, so my Father God and I could only see the blood on everyone, and no longer would anyone's sins make them dirty so they couldn't be in heaven. So you all have a stead in heaven through God my Father and through me. Now, some folks might wonder before I leave, some folks might wonder and say, Jesus, what about other folks from other worships and other beliefs? God loved and forgave all mankind and all womankind. So everyone had their sins atoned for. Everyone had those sins cleaned away, and everyone has a stead in heaven through God my Father and through me. If they choose to believe in me and God, that is great. If they choose not to believe in me and God, that's all right too, because believing or not believing did not undo what God, my Father, and I did for them all. So I'll let you all go with that. And I gotta be going now, because I gotta be going. Mimi, all the food's eaten. Mimi's like, woof! Yike! Mimi, all the food's gone. It'll be in here with me at camp, but I already ate all the food. What? What do you want to do, Mimi? Go pee? You gotta go pee? Happy how? Hi, Mimi. Alright, I guess I'll have to put this on still. Alright, folks, we got to hear from Jesus the Healer, Jesus the Freer, Jesus the Teacher here today on Friday Night Smackdown. And since it is Good Friday, if many Christendom folks from other arms of Christendom will choose to not eat meat on that day. And now here comes Bianca Belair. Well, first off, Bianca Belair says, I don't want to go and have to undo, all the good that we just heard. But you know something? I do want to hopefully win either the TWF Women's Heavyweight Winnings or the Women's World Heavyweight Winnings again. So, by all means, I do want someone to come out and tell me, if that's going to be true or not. Well, the way I look at it, Bianca Belair, me and you, Jade Cordell says, we're kind of like in some way. I mean, yes, I started out in TNAW around 2021 YL till about 2023 YL though. And me and you, a lot of folks think highly of us. And I believe that a lot of folks think highly of us for what we did. Well, shit! Get back up! Well, yeah, that's right, Jade Cord. You're right about that, Jade. A lot of folks out there think highly of you because you were the first the first AEW TBS fighter, which, believe it or not, is a women's winnings in AEW. And a lot of folks thought highly of me, too. So I'm thinking, why don't me and you, have a have a match, here today on Friday Night Smackdown, a Friday Night Smackdown, and and we'll have that match. Hey, I think that's a great match too, I truly do think that's great. Why don't we go right ahead and do it? Well, this match is for the TWF Women's World Heavyweight Winnings. For the Women's World Heavyweight Winnings. First, she is Bianca Belair, and she is the TWF Women's Heavyweight Fighter, Jade Cordell. Well, first off, folks, a lot of things we want to say. The Fight Lord can't stand up, Corey Graves said, and you might wonder why He-Man's here and instead of Ashley Williams. But we don't know where Ashley Williams is at, so He-Man, you're most likely filling in. Well, most likely, He-Man said, I might be doing this full time if we can't seek where Ashley Williams went to. He-Man says, well, I can tell you one thing, Wade Barrett said, I had to fill in for Aiden English yesterday. So we're just a lot of wrestlers and color casters or whatever cast callers, whatever you want to call them, are going missing or getting missteaded, Wade Barrett says. Well, I can tell you one thing right now, Corey Graves said. Bianca Belair just got slammed by Jade Cordell. who is now in WWE now, and now on Smackdown for the first time. You know, Jade Cordell will body slam Bianca Belair. Jade Cordell was one of the very few wrestlers that WWE got away from AEW. First starting with Cody Rhodes, then also with CM Punk, then with Dragon Lee, and then later on with Jade Cordell. But not as many folks left as some folks might think. Well, at the end of the day, He-Man says, AEW's ownership and leadership will say, no big deal, we lost those wrestlers. Well, they weren't great to begin with. You know, that Cody Rhodes and CM Punk and Jade Cordell, you know, and Dragon Lee, they weren't the greatest wrestlers. They were alright, but they weren't the ones everybody loved. You know, that's what they would say, He-Man says. Or at least that's what Shao Kahn and Anthony Khan would say. I don't know, Wade Barrett says, who's going to win this match between, Bianca Belair and Jade Cordell, Wade Barrett says. Jade Cordell, who is the women's world heavyweight fighter, Wade Barrett says. Uh-oh, Bianca Belair got Jade Cordell down. She's going to win this here. She's going to become the world women's heavyweight fighter, Corey Graves says. Today, on Good Friday, Corey Graves said, that's right. He-Man says, that's what's going to happen. Oh no, Wade Barrett said, can't let that to happen. 1, 2, 3. Ding, ding, ding. Here is your winner in the new World Women's Heavyweight Fighter, Bianca Belair. And Bianca Belair has beat Jade Cordell. Stand up. Stand up. And Bianca Belair has beat Jade Cordell here today on Friday Night Smackdown, Corey Graves said, and is now the women's world heavyweight fighter. Corey Graves says, that's right, He-Man says. We saw Jade Cordell and Bianca Belair have one hell of a match here today on Friday Night Smackdown. But Bianca Belair beat Jade Cordell. Yeah, that's what happened, Wade Barrett said. That is truly what happened. And at the end of the day, Jade Cordell gave it her all, but Bianca Belair ended up beating her, Wade Barrett says. Alright, Corey Graves said, I'll hand it away to Gene Okerlund. Thank you, Corey Graves. I'm going to be talking with the new women's world heavyweight fighter, Bianca Belair, here today on Friday Night Smackdown, Good Friday following. Alright, Bianca Belair, we just saw you beat Jade Cordell, former AEW TBS fighter, and what do you think? How's that go? Well, it's like this, Gene Okerlund. I have a lot of onlook for Jade Cordell, and for what she did when she was in AEW, being the first and former AEW TBS fighter. But at the end of the day, I am the EST of the TWF, as well as WWE. Jade Cordell could say that she was the EST of AEW, but we don't really think that was true. Anyway, at the end of the day, the folks that left AEW to go back to WWE was only Cody Rhodes and CM Punk and Dragon Lee and Jade Cordell. And at the end of the day, we all know that Shao Kahn and Anthony Khan would say no big deal because they still got all these folks. But I'm going to tell you right now, one wrestler that Shao Kahn and Anthony Khan will never get is me, because I will never go to AEW. So, too bad about that. Well, we do know that Jade Cordell And you had a great match here today on Friday Night Smackdown, and you're now the Women's World Heavyweight Fighter for the first time. Yeah, that's right. I am the EST of the TWF, Gene Okerlund. And at the end of the day, if Jade Cordell wants to have another match with me, another fight with me, then I'm open-minded to that. Alright, that's my talk with Bianca Belair. Back to you, Corey Graves. Thank you, Gene Okerlund, for talking with Bianca Belair here today on Friday Night Smackdown. And that's all the time we got here for Friday Night Smackdown. I, Corey Graves, He-Man, and Wade Barrett. We hope you like Friday Night Smackdown, and we'll see you tomorrow for Rampage or Ram Fruit.